Happy 2023, baby! What's up? It's Emily. Welcome back to, or welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, you're about to get to know me. I'm a long-term recruiter. I make careers and life advice content. Basically, consider me your internet big sister whose goal is to help you thrive in your 9 to 5 and beyond. And if there's one thing I am very good at in this life, it's prioritization and getting shit done. I have 3 full-time jobs, all of which are executed pretty damn well. So if you are looking to achieve some really big goals in 2023, this is the video for you. Or also, if you're feeling a little bit lost about what you want this coming year, I would also highly recommend that you stay, you hit that subscribe button, you leave a comment. It'll bring you good luck in the new year.
It will.
And if you like my Off the Clock t-shirt, just keep your little eye out for it because this is a part of my new merch line that's coming out in a couple of weeks. I'll put more info on that on the description. So if you haven't taken time to process and move on from this year, you are already not going to set yourself up for success. Make sure that you take real rest and real time to decompress and let go of the last year. Whether that's through writing or therapy, a really good gym session, or just doing nothing and vegetating for a couple of weeks, you need to do that in order to move on. Feeling well rested, motivated, and ready to rumble. Let's get into the next part of the video. Rule number 1, you are not allowed to set any New Year's resolutions. You know why? New Year's resolutions always fail. I saw a stat on Instagram, which probably means it's not a real statistic, it's just something a 19-year-old made on Canva, that said something like 90% of New Year's resolutions fail. And I actually do agree with that. Every single time I have set a New Year's resolution, I did not do it. Every year I resolved to be a skinny legend. Every year I resolved to go to the gym 6 days a week. And guess what? Every year I fail, and then I feel like shit because I feel like I didn't hit this goal. So when I think about how I set goals for the year, I think about real goals that I can quantify and not things that I'm fundamentally changing about my life. And I'll explain how that mindset shift can really help you be more successful. So instead of starting off your year by saying you are going to be super fit and in great shape, why don't you say something like, I'm committing to going to the gym 1 day a week? Or I'm committing to moving my body more. Give yourself a tangible goal that is tied to data so that you can actually measure your success. Like I said, I am a notebook. What was this? That was so dramatic. I am a notebook girly, so I write down what my big goals are, or even if they're tiny goals, in a notebook at the beginning of every single year. And the way that I pick what goals to put in is I actually have a brainstorming session first. So I make a list of all of my goals, no matter how small or how large, and I just write them all down. It could be go on 100 first dates. It could be get a sponsor for my podcast. It could be win the lottery, literally anything. And then after you've made your really big list, I want you to go into that list and pick out a couple of things. Maybe it's like 10 or 15 things that really resonate with you and that you feel are achievable. Some of my goals this year is hit 300,000 followers on TikTok, to hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, you're literally telling me that my goals are not achievable. So just think about that. The last thing that you want is this time next year, looking back at the list of goals you made and realizing you hit none of them. The same way you would be managing an employee at work, you need to manage yourself against your goals. And the best way to do this is to have a monthly or quarterly check-in with yourself. I don't care if this sounds crazy or if this sounds like corporate bullshit, but I actually think it's a really good idea at the end of every single month to pull out this notebook once again, look at those 10 or 15 goals and just write down what your progress is, whether it's more subscribers or earning more money or making time for family or friends or, moving your body. Just making sure you're actually tracking your progress, can help you understand where you might need to adjust your strategy. Maybe saying going to the gym 5 days a week isn't realistic and you need to dial that back, and that's okay. Or maybe you can see where you're doing really well and maybe you can even up the goal a little bit. Sometimes really successful or happy people do not achieve their goals for one reason or another, and it doesn't make them any less successful. So your mindset and how you carry yourself and how you feel about yourself is always going to be more important. So take some time to reflect before or after your goal setting. How were you really feeling this year? Were you consistently drained? Were you snappy or mean with people you cared about? Were you putting up walls or guards? Or were you open? Did you find you were taking more risks this year? Were you being your authentic self? Were you setting boundaries? Take an honest inventory of who the person you showed up as was in 2022. And then think about what your ideal self would be. I know my ideal self is relentless with her boundaries. She'll tell you no right to your damn face. You want me to go somewhere? The answer is no. She doesn't want to go, and she's not going to give you an explanation. My ideal self is also warm and open. She is constantly creating safe spaces for people. She is creative. She takes risks. She listens to her body. She makes time for the people she loves. Literally make a list of who your ideal self is, and then figure out how you can start showing up as that person throughout the course of the next year. But most especially, if your goal is to feel more confident and more authentic this year, it's really important you remember to honor your boundaries throughout the course of this year. And remember that how you feel about yourself is ultimately the most important thing. There are so many other cheesy one-liners I could totally deliver to you, but the number one thing that has helped me achieve my goals is believing that I can achieve those goals. Do you know how many people made fun of me for starting to post on social media? So many friends would be in their group chat saying oh my gosh, Emily's posting on TikTok, that's so embarrassing. Emily's posting on Instagram, that's so embarrassing. And those are now people who are reaching out to me asking for advice, asking me to promote their pages. There are so many people who are not going to believe in your dream, and none of that matters if you believe in your dream. All in all, you want to have an amazing 2023, and if you commit to having a positive mindset and relentlessly believing in yourself, you absolutely are. And if you want to hit some amazing goals this year, throw those resolutions right to the curb and focus on data-backed goals that you actively track month over month. And if you're looking to level up in your personal or professional life, I promise this channel and my other socials listed on the screen are an amazing resource for that. If you enjoyed this video or think you're going to enjoy any of my other content, hit me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to have a conversation with you. So please, please, please let me know what your goals are this year. And let's crush it, brava.